Hello again, everybody. Well, I got a lot of questions about some pictures that I posted on Facebook about some interesting things around the Craven's house terrace. So we're going to go take a look, and I'll show you visually where it is. Now, there are 3 ways to get to the Craven's house. I'm taking another way that if you have a taller car, you really can't do it. I have a Highlander made by Toyota, and it fits just. And I'll take you guys along with me just to show you. So let's go take a look and see what we can see. Now, we're coming up, going under the old incline. Well, not the old incline, incline number 2. This is a halfway point. They actually used to stop here. If you want to see more detailed things on this, I actually did a video on this in the past. And yes, that does say clearance 6 feet. Now, my car clears it just. Now, this is a little private drive, and it obviously is 1 lane, so you might want to be a little bit cautious. But that was incline number 2. The original incline number 1 is going to be up here a little bit, or at least what's left of it. And that's what I plan on showing you. So you come out here, and then you hang a left, and I believe that this is Shingle Road. There is a little gift store called Mountain Memories, and you can hang either a left if you're coming from the top, or a right if you're coming from the bottom, and it's right there. And this is when we get into the battlefield proper. Now you drive along a little bit and get past the last remnants of some places that you can actually rent. They're not really chalets, they're more apartments or little condos, but take a look. It is literally right there. Now, I'm going to pull over here and walk back and let you guys take a closer look at it, so bear with me just a moment. Now, what would have happened is incline number 1 actually came up from below, and it came up at a different angle. There was actually a hotel called Point Lookout Hotel, and there was a lady named Whiteside. She actually owned the top of the mountain. And well, she owned it as a widow. Her husband owned it before her. Well, these gentlemen decided that people needed to see this view instead of Mrs. Whiteside having to charge people a toll to ride their carriages up to the top of the mountain. So they built a hotel below the point, and they did incline number 1 up to the top. So incline number 1 doesn't exist anymore. Incline number 2 is the one that people see, but there still are little bits and pieces of it. You can see that this is one of the things. So the angle would have gone more towards the top below the cliff, and it would have angled more down this way. Now you can't really see the sign anymore. Unfortunately, it's been way too damaged. I'll track down it and see if anybody can decipher this, but no one has really shown this in a while. Now I'll try to find some old pictures just to give you an example. But anyway, this is what there is. Now, once we're past the incline ruins, all of these metal plaques that you see are actually best estimates as to where the different sides were during the conflict on the side of Lookout Mountain. They're slowly changing them over, but basically the red and gray ones are Confederate positions, and the blue and gray ones are Union positions. So I actually like the way that goes. So anyway, here we go along this, and as we come up the hill, you can see the Gildan Hardy Trail feeding in right here, which I've actually done in the past, and you can see the Craven's house. Now, apologies, we're not going to go to the Craven's house because at the time of this filming, the government was in another shutdown. And while they don't shut down the crucial things, they definitely shut down Park Service things. Now, you can get to this one by parking down here. You just cannot park up close to it. So if you ever want to get around Park Service being closed, you can still hike the side of the mountain, and you can still do a lot of stuff. You just can't go into Point Park because that area is closed. It is a gated area, but you can hike all over the side of Lookout Mountain, and you can get around the Craven's house. So the interesting thing as well is this actually used to be a neat little community, so to speak, back in the day, right after the Civil War. Now there's where the Guild and Hardy Trail continues on. Just as a sidebar, the reason it's so wide is because that the railroad in town actually had a broad gauge railroad track that came up Lookout Mountain. Now, it started down somewhere around 41st Street or somewhere thereabouts and came up the mountain. And it, of course, because it was a regular train, it had to sweep around the mountain longer to give itself enough not steep angle to come up the mountain. Now, these days, the Civilian Conservation Corps actually turned a large chunk of it into a hiking trail up the mountain. If you want to see what it looks like, I actually did a video. You'll just have to go back through my older stuff. It's called the Guild and Hardy Trail. And we're back down into, while it's still part of the Craven's area, we're back down into private housing and all that. So since we are losing visual rapidly because of the fog, and yes, this happens quite a lot during the winter, I'm going to let you guys go at this point. So thanks for watching. I'm off to go on some more journeys. Until then, why don't you guys go on a journey of your own? We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.